So, just a quick demo and review of the Harley Benton SC-550 that I recently got from Thomann. I'm in the UK, so it cost me £238 or so. Pretty cheap for what you get. I'll just start off by saying it's decent. It's a good guitar. It's not Les Paul quality, but it does sound good. Good for the price. QC wise, first thing to point out is the fretwork is pretty good. Stainless steel frets on these as standard. They're pretty large frets. I don't mind that too much. I'll probably set this up as more of like a drop tuning guitar, I think. The fret ends are pretty good. There's a few sharp ones, mainly on the bottom side at the high E, but they're not. I've had worse in, say, Mexican made Fenders. And the other thing to note is that the binding, it doesn't actually go over the frets, so the frets are on top of the binding on these, different to a lot of higher end Gibsons. The only bad fret is the 13th, so the 13th fret buzzes when on the low E when I play that 12th fret. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's not as bad when it's playing distorted, but I tend to use that note quite a bit, power chords and stuff, and so you can see that it's fine before it, but that's pretty bad. And the reason is the 13th fret, you can actually see that it's not pushed all the way into the fretboard in the way that it should be. Might be able to get the camera to focus on that. Don't know if you can see that. I'll take a look when I edit, but that's the main issue with it, I would say. But otherwise, pretty happy with the guitar. I'm not much of a pickups guy, but they seem to sound good. The stock Tesla pickups, I am going to swap them out in another video just because this guitar is somewhat of a mod platform. The tuners, they feel good, they feel smooth, they're not clicky or anything weird like that. Neck joint is pretty decent. It kind of has this like step here, you can sort of see there. The pots are okay, but I do notice if I show you the tone pots, it seems to roll off a lot of volume and kind of goes from 10 to 0 pretty quickly near the end of the sweep. So that's sort of going from 0 to 1. Not sure if that's normal on Les Pauls and similar guitars. And that's the bridge pickup tone pot. I think the volumes aren't as bad. The volumes are pretty smooth. Yeah, overall pretty happy with the guitar. Obviously you can look up all the specs on the link in the description. This is not an ad for this guitar by any means, and I mainly bought this because I wanted to get a Les Paul, but I didn't want to spend the money at this point. But to be honest, getting one of these, it won't really fill that void. If you want a high quality, shorter scale length, double humbucker style guitar, this is good for a beginner or intermediate player, but it is lacking a little bit. But you get what you pay for. There's a lot of really good YouTube videos making them sound good, and they sound great, but it's not the most enjoyable guitar to play. But quality-wise, I was pretty impressed with it overall, and it doesn't look ugly or anything like that. It is very lightweight for a kind of solid body Les Paul style guitar, And this, compared with the ST-62, which I'll review in another video, this one definitely takes the cake. The Harley Benton Strat copies are not that good in my opinion. These are a good buy. The Strats, you know, they're like £111 or something, which is cheap as, but I would probably go with, you know, a Fender, a Squire over like a classic vibe for the extra money. You do just get a little bit nicer guitar. But this video is about the SC-550, so we'll listen to some sounds, and in another future video we will compare this to a Les Paul 50s standard. So I'm playing the DSL-1 combo at the moment, except it's plugged into my Zilla 212 cab, and we've just mic'd up the Vintage 30 with an SM57 pretty much on the center. Fairly standard sound. And we'll probably swap out to the Dark Terror head as well for some other sounds.